In the days ahead, schools are going to be finishing up, secondary schools, and in the weeks ahead, primary schools are also going to be finishing up term. School secretaries are then going to be finishing up work also. Now, I know there's been a great deal of background work done in getting an agreed plan together, and I want to acknowledge everyone that's been involved in that. There's over 3,000 schools involved right across the country, and I know the time is very tight on it, but is it envisaged that the school secretaries, the new pay system would be in place for when they finish up? What kind of work is involved in it? Is it going to be in place? And will it be some teacher or some secretaries getting it as soon as they're up and running, or will all the schools be coming on together at the one time?
Thank you, Deputy
if you can
Minister.
give an indication on it, and especially if people are retiring
Minister,
as well.
please.
Deputy, so there is an agreement in place, and the focus now is to implement that agreement, and the work is ongoing with Forsa. It requires a complex process of assimilating information to capture accurate data in respect of each individual secretary, and the application of this data to ensure that each secretary is correctly assigned to the new terms and conditions as agreed if they so choose. Secretaries will also be provided with an opportunity to confirm whether they wish to move to the new terms and conditions or whether they wish to retain their current terms and conditions, as the benefits of either option will be determined by their individual circumstances. So I'm assured by the Minister for Education that additional resources are being put in place to provide capacity to manage this process. I can't give you an exact timeline, but it is a priority to get this implemented as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much, Minister. Deputy David Stanton.
Could I ask the Minister, given the volatile nature of oil and gas supplies at the moment in Europe and the constraints therein, and given the fact that we get over 70% of our natural gas through a pipeline from the United Kingdom, has the Government any contingency plans in place, or do you plan to put plans in place, in the event of a reduction or curtailment of this supply from the United Kingdom? In other words, as in the case of Big Olive, and what are the plans? Thank you.
Minister.
Thanks, Deputy Stanton. The answer is yes. This is a matter of ongoing consideration, led of course by Minister Eamon Ryan in DEC, as we call it, and working with my own department and with other departments across government to make sure that the issue of energy security is fully addressed, particularly in the current climate, where there is a greater question mark than before about the secure supply of energy. Of course, it does all underline the need for us to accelerate the transition to renewables, and as a government, as you know, we've passed legislation in respect of offshore wind and modernised the licensing and the regulatory system. But yes, the straight answer to your question is contingency plans are in place and are continuing to be worked on by Minister Ryan in particular.
Deputy Patricia